Hello YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Welcome to the live coverage of the Outlaws Sim Series preseason test here at the Milwaukee Mile. Devin Zimmerman is along with me in the booth. I'm Emerson Arden, and we join you tonight from the virtual West Allis, Wisconsin. The oldest operating motor speedway in the world, the Milwaukee Mile opened in 1903 and has ran at least one race a year until 2015. The track played host to the Green Bay Packers before the track was paved, and the track over the years became host to USAC, ARCA, Xfinity, Truck, Indy Light, and IndyCar competition. So Devin, I heard you took some laps around the track earlier. What kind of a preview can you give the fans for the 225-mile feature tonight?
Well, Emerson, like most of the mile ovals, this track is very flat. So another modern example would be New Hampshire Speedway, and yeah, it's just really flat, very tricky to get around, very loose under braking, and also loose coming off the turn. So the drivers are going to have to watch the rear end swinging around. The best way to get around this track is to be as patient as possible to get back on the gas. It's really hard because everybody wants to go fast, but yeah, the more patient you are to get back on the throttle, the better you're going to be. You're also going to save that right front a little bit more. The tire isn't eating away too bad here as it was last week, but still it gets eaten up a little bit. Also, the drivers are going to have to watch out for the pit lane entry. That is, it is a very, very awkward spot on the front straightaway.
Oh yeah, that pit lane entry, that's actually the first thing I noticed when I loaded up the track. Entering into the session is that it looks very similar to like the Pocono pit entry, and like the opposite of what we had last week, where pit entry was right off the back straight, kind of like it is today. A little different, but very awkward, right?
Yeah, very awkward. Hopefully we don't have too many guys miss it. It is very easy to miss.
That's correct. I lost my replay box real quick. Oh, there it is. Little difficulty on my part, but right here we're in the middle of qualifying. How about Tyler Markle right now on provisional pole? We'll see if he'll be able to hold on to it right now. Take a look at Malenko, 4 1,000ths off of that time.
Yeah, we have 3 drivers all right there, close to each other. Tyler Markle, Joseph Cossey, who just took over, and Malenko. It seems that we're kind of counting down here, about 6 minutes left for these guys to get a good lap time in. This group qualifying is a little different tonight. I didn't realize that it was set up that way, but it is quite interesting to me.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either myself. And then it just kind of happened to me. And, right, it caught everybody, I think, by surprise. But drivers really taking advantage of it. Cossey, Markle, Malenko right now the top 3. What really happens here is these drivers are given multiple opportunities to improve on their qualifying, on their starting spot.
Yeah, it can also act as somewhat of an extra practice. Say you lay down a really, really good lap. Maybe you just want to kind of run a few practice laps in and then give it another really good lap at the end. It gives you that chance. Like I said, it is a tricky track, so these drivers, they'll have to either dial back that brake bias so they can keep the car under control when braking, and again, just being very careful off the turn to get that power back on.
Gilliard sets his first time of the session, and it's 13th out of 13. Right, so you see a little something that not all ovals have this, or actually very few ovals have this, but you'll see on the inside, this track is a little outdated. It's scanned pretty much since I believe it's come to the service, but that curbing there on the inside, that is very tricky. Why?
It's a different pavement, so most of the track is concrete, while that black spot in the turns that you'll see is asphalt. So that change can upset the car balance a little bit, which is why it's tricky under braking. You kind of want to do all of your braking before you hit that point, so that way when the car hits there, you're not getting any, back end going around or front end not wanting to turn. You want to be pretty much coasting and then getting back on the power in that black part on the inside of the turn there.
And so the yellow curbing on the inside, does that help the car turn, or does it more hurt the car?
It's going to hurt you. It's very much similar to Martinsville, where if you pop on that turn, it's going to upset the front wheel. You really don't want to hit it. If you do hit it, as long as it's barely just the outside of the left tire, then you'll be okay. It's when you get that whole tire on that yellow curbing, it's really going to upset the balance of the car, and it could shoot out from under you, either shoot up the racetrack or just make you do a little pirouette.
Right, very, very wonderful insight from Devin. He was originally going to be a driver in this series, and he said, nah, I'm going to take a step back. I want to join you up in the booth. And I said, gladly, I'll bring him up. And it's been a blessing, at least at Lucas Oil. It was a blast so far tonight. I mean, it has been absolutely wonderful to work with somebody who's competent, who's knowledgeable on both the racing side and the broadcasting, personality side. It's just very helpful, very welcoming, very warm to be able to broadcast with someone like Devin.
And I greatly appreciate it. I just wanted to do something a little different. I've been driving in a couple leagues, and I really just want to step up here in the broadcast booth and give it a shot. It's been really great. Like you said, Lucas Oil was wonderful last week. I really enjoyed it. And I don't think there's anything better for this league that I'd rather do than be up here in the booth with you. You're a great announcer yourself.
I appreciate that so much. It's what I enjoy to do. I got iRacing, and I was happy to be able to race on it, but I really did it to expand on the broadcasting scene. And of course, Adam, the owner of the Outlaws series, he gave me the opportunity to broadcast for him on Heat 3 and Heat 4, and now we're here on iRacing, following them with the transition, the logo and everything. It's been amazing. Just very, very thankful for all the opportunities that we've had. Coming up on 2 minutes here in qualifying, Joseph Kowski, 2/100ths of a second over Malenko, 4/100ths over Markle. We'll see if there's any late session shakeups.
Yeah, we have just under 2 minutes to go. Malenko is out on the track. Markle is out there as well. Just trying to put in a really fast lap, maybe an upset Joseph Kowski for the pole position here.
Yep, so coming up on 90 seconds here. Oh, crash. Is that turn 3? Malenko and Markle?
Yeah, it looks like Markle just got a little loose, slid up the track, and I'm not sure what Malenko was doing there. Maybe just wanted to reinforce the point a little bit of how close Markle is to him. In third place there, they're all, like I said, Joseph Kowski, Malenko, and Tyler Markle, all very close. Looks like they're going to be able to get out on track and at least get one more lap in. This should be their last shot, though.
Yep. Just editing one thing right now. You'll see we'll be right back. Needed something on the ticker. Scoring, it'll be right back. Memento. All right. And the good old refresh. We'll be at 20 seconds remaining in the session. Kowski, Malenko, Markle, Devin Smith, Max Service. Kowski looking very strong. Looking like he will be the prime candidate for this pole position here.
And as you said that, Malenko is able to take the pole position.
Wow, he was saving every bit of that.
And there's the checkered for the session.
Wow, I mean, last second, talk about that. And so Malenko, outdoing Kowski, outdoing the Kowski at anything is quite an accomplishment. But for him to be able to do it like this in qualifying last second, it just kind of adds a little bit more sting to it. Devin, go ahead and tell us what just happened here in qualifying, what Malenko just accomplished here.
Yeah, so I was watching his lap. He really gave it his all to get this pole position, and we would like to award him the Pratt, Tile & Stone Pole Position Award. This is from Pratt, Tile & Stone in Burlington, Vermont. Joints tighter than a lap since 2003. We really want to thank Andrew Pratt for this, helping out this league with this award. So congratulations to Malenko for winning that, and we'll take you through the rest of the field. So Malenko gets the pole award. Joseph Cockey going to line up on the outside in second. Tyler Markle third. Devin Smith fourth. Max Service fifth. Seth Berger is going to be sixth. And Joshua McClure will be seventh. And Andrew St. Cure will be eighth.
All right, so looking at row 5, it'll be Garrett Velzy and Jeremiah Stutzman. Row 6 will have the 65 of Kyle Lingerfeld and Anthony Pritchett. Row number 7 will be James Gilliard and Doug Solms. So as the field grids up on the front straightaway, it is a 1-mile racetrack, so iRacing says it is good enough for a 1 pace lap round before we get to racing here for a 225-mile event here at the Milwaukee Mile. Such a famed racetrack here, just outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
225 laps, no fast repairs, and unlimited tire sets. Good luck, and let's have some fun.
So I definitely just forgot to uncheck the audio. Wow, it is. I'm losing it up here. Give me one hot second.
It's all good. We're still getting ready for the season. Like we said, this is just a practice. So, I mean, it's a practice for us to be ready to go for the real season here. The cars are lining up. As we said, what you just heard was Race Control, who is an in-car race controller, one of the admins, just giving the guys, a forewarning. There is no fast repairs. Again, a fast repair is pretty much just like a reset. You get to come down pit road, reset your car as good as new, go back out on the track. This is going to be more like real life, where if you damage the car, you got to come in and get it fixed, if you can't even get it fixed. So yeah, more like real life. They do have unlimited sets of tires, so they will be able to come down as much as they want, although you're not going to want to come down too much because, like we said, getting into this pit road and the very, very low pit road speed of 40 miles an hour will be very tricky.
Right, and it's not necessarily that I didn't want Race Control messages to be broadcasted on the broadcast. It's that this enabled all driver radio to be on the broadcast, and sometimes things get a little heated and not necessarily everything should be on a broadcast like so. But nonetheless, 14 great drivers ready to take the green for the final preseason race at the here at the Milwaukee Mile. Final one before we get things kicked off next Wednesday evening at Daytona for the Clash. Malenko electing the outside lane for the start. We'll see if he'll be able to fend off Cossey down to turn number 1. Joseph Cossey very fast. Remember, Malenko ran second to him at Lucas Oil. Was fast on the short run, not as fast on the long run as Cossey. He's looking to change that tonight. We'll see. 225 laps, 7 rows deep, double wide, ready to go. The iRacing Ford Mustang pace car will pull to the left here, ready to go racing. And green flag, we're racing from the Milwaukee Mile.
And a little bit of bumping back in the pack between the 48 and I'm not sure, I think that's Kyle Lingerfeld right behind him. Looks like they make it okay unscathed though, maybe just a little tap because he didn't get going.
Right, you saw the field bunching up there, and Malik actually gets a little wide, loses the lead to Joseph Cossey almost that quickly. Cossey to the race lead. We're now looking at Zach there in third. How about Devin Smith making runs on the outside, trying to get back service further back. Double wide as we go through the field.
Yeah, that was a great start by Malenko. However, he did get a little loose coming off the turn in turn 2. Was able to give up the bottom, and Joseph Cossey just drove right underneath him.
Yeah, he thought, he'd better try something here, especially hitting this track pretty early in the schedule, actually. It'll be race 7 on the schedule, and so, this is pretty much a learning experience for the race that'll be only 10 laps longer come race time later, or in the actual season.
Yeah, the top 3, top 4 here have a little bit of space between them. It looks like Service is catching back up to Devin Smith there, but a lot closer racing this time than what we saw last week at Lucas Oil.
Oh, most definitely. This track, it drives a lot like New Hampshire. In fact, these drivers are actually using the New Hampshire fixed setup. If you aren't familiar with what's going on in iRacing, New Hampshire is actually just on the schedule for the official races. So a lot of these drivers have practice at a track similar to this. not entirely the same, but also it's just a more traditional short track compared to what we saw last week when we were on the outside lane in Milwaukee. It's all about that inside lane, pretty similar to most short tracks we go to.
Well, there is an interesting technique. If you're watching at our leaders right now, Joseph Cossi and Malenko and Markle, they are running a little bit higher off of that asphalt line. So what that does is if you take it a little bit higher getting into the turns, let the car coast, and then crank the wheel while the car is coasting before you get back on the gas, it tends to save that right front a little bit more. So if you see them running a little bit high, that might be what they're doing, is trying to play the tire conservation game.
And not only that, I think it makes the straightaways even longer for them, which means they're able to carry more speed from corner exit to the next corner entry. It's kind of a win-win. You know, you save that tire and you make the straightaways longer, and it allows you to make faster time, make up time on the drivers behind you, try to close the gap on the drivers in front of you. But Cossi really looking like he's mastering that, as he usually does. I think he just hit 3,000 I-rating on the service a few days ago. So Joseph Cossi really stretching his legs, showing his muscle here up front in the Outlaws Sim Series preseason.
Yeah, but he's not breaking away right now, as we saw last week. Maybe that's just because Markle is able, you know, this track's doesn't eat the tires as much as Lucas Oil did. So Markle and Malenko are a little bit better off as far as not being, you know, concerned with using their right front up as much as they were last week. So he can drive it in a little bit harder and try and keep up with Joseph Cossi.
Battle for fourth rages on the 81 of Max Service, getting by the 95 of Devin Smith. Almost too easy. He looks to try to close up on the top three, see if he can squeeze in there and have a little bit of fun up front. Actually, a battle for a race lead. Is that Malenko to the inside of the 88, peeking down low on the front straightaway. Does he have anything for Cossi into turn one? Dives it in there. Cossi trying to carry the speed around the outside. Malenko fights there in the center of the corner, but it's just so tight on that apex off of turn number two. Cossi will have to run. Don't hit that wall. Side by side down the back.
Yeah, Malenko's really giving it his all, as they're still side by side going to three, but Malenko does have to back off a little bit. I think the car was just getting a little too tight, realizes that he's using a little bit more of that right front than he wants to this early on.
Yeah, definitely, but Malenko, I think he's just going to, he's a racer. He's going to fight hard every lap, and especially with somebody like Joseph Cossi, this is a huge statement for him if he's able to battle with